Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 235 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. This is my second year ever running. Within the first full year of running, at the age of 31, I was able to run 1,002 miles. I did that within 175 days out of the year in 2020. So me going for 1,500 miles this year is over a 50% increase in the amount of miles as opposed to last year. And me going for 365 days is over a 100% increase in the amount of days I'll be out there running as opposed to last year. Not to mention this year is all days in a row with no days off. I also challenged myself to run two big major races within this time frame of the year. One of those races I did complete on June 5th, day 156 of my journey, and that race was the Yankee Springs 50K trail race, a 31-mile race in the woods right outside of Grand Rapids in Middleville, Michigan. I was able to get that race done within got that race done in 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds. So I am officially an ultra marathoner. Really excited about that, and can't wait to hopefully next year dabble in another ultra marathon. But the other race I have coming up within this year is an actual marathon, and that is the Detroit Free Press Marathon that is coming up here in mid-October. Really looking forward to that race. I'll be running the Motor City Challenge of that race, which entails me running the competitive 1 mile and the competitive 5K the day before. Like I said, that is in October. Really looking forward to that race. Now let's kind of talk about mileage. So for the day today, guys, it is the beginning of the week, but I'm taking it very easy. Saturday of last week, so 2 days ago, I ran a big mileage out on a trail, and it actually beat me up pretty bad. I'm having some issues with my right leg, my upper hip, back of my hip right here, and then right down on my ankle, and my lower leg is it's been a struggle these last 2 days trying to get out there. So today, again, I kept it short. For the day today, day 235, I was able to get out there and still put in 1.5 miles for the day. That put me at 1.5 miles for the week, which put me at 87.5 miles for the month, which put me at 1,090.3 miles for the year. Let's focus in on these monthly miles while we have a chance. Every single month, I challenge myself to do a 100-mile challenge in honor of a charity in which I donate money to, and I also start a coinciding fundraiser to try to raise money and awareness for that charity. So for the first 7 months, we were able to raise money for 7 great charities. Now we're sitting here within the 8th month, and we're raising money for yet another great charity. That charity being the National Psoriasis Foundation. Why I chose that charity this month is because not only is August Psoriasis Awareness Month, but psoriasis is something that I have dealt with for a majority of my life. So I decided I would like to start a fundraiser in honor of that. And again, August was the perfect month because it is Psoriasis Awareness Month. Speaking of awareness, I do know not everyone is able and can afford to donate. So along with the donations, we are also just trying to raise awareness, guys, for these causes. And the perfect way to do that is just for people to click that share button, put it on your page, let other people see it, and ask, as you share it, ask other people to share it as well, because we're trying to get as many eyes on it as possible. But again, the other thing we're trying to do is raise money for it. So if you'd like to actually donate to this month's fundraiser, you can find the link to do so on the Defining Discipline Instagram story or the Defining Discipline Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram story, or my personal page's Facebook story. Within those stories, you will find the link. You just click on it. It'll open up the Facebook page. You are able to make your donations, and all the donations that get made go directly to this cause and this fundraiser. Facebook is not taking any portion or percentage of your donations. Other than that, guys, I've been trying to do a word of the day since I think in June is when I started it. I've been doing a word of the day to try to expand my vocabulary, become a better speaker, and just to become a little bit smarter. I've also been I had been trying to read at least 30 minutes a day, but with these this month and a half and the last few weeks, I've just been so overwhelmed um, with things I have to do that I just barely have enough time to get my run in and get my episode in. So I have not been able to actually get a lot of reading done, so that's a little disappointing. But the word of the day we have kept up with, so we will do today's word of the day, August 23rd, and that is immigrate. Immigrate means to leave a country or region in order to live somewhere else. Today's word of the day is immigrate. So, like I was saying, we can get right into today's actual episode because we do not have we have no book to talk about that I've been reading because I have kind of fell off of it because I've been just so busy. And speaking of busy, that is actually kind of what relates to today's actual episode 235. So for the day today, day 235, today's episode is overwhelmed. And it is that because that is exactly what I am. And it's also something that throughout, my life, I've gotten to points where I feel completely overwhelmed and it almost feels hopeless. And there's a lot of weight on me where I just want to give up. I just want to throw in the towel and say, screw it. Because there's just so much, outside forces or whatever it may be that are just kind of weighing down on me. And currently I am like just in that state where it just seems like I cannot catch a break. It seems like all odds are against me. It seems as soon as I feel like I'm getting things caught back up, there's 10 more things that need to get done. So it's just very, very overwhelming, especially again, like I said, with the amount of hours I've actually been putting in at work, to come home and only have a limited amount of time to try to get some things done. Add the run in there, add the episode in there. There goes at least an hour and a half to possibly 2 hours to getting the episode uploaded, posted, getting the social media, everything posted. So that takes away a big portion of it. And then I'm left with only maybe an hour or two to try to get some things done around the house. And like I said, it just seems like everything continuously starts to pile up and, it gets really hard on me mentally where I'm really short and I just feel like, again, it feels hopeless. It feels like every time I get one thing done, there's 3 other things that pop up that are 10 times worse than the one thing that I thought was bad that I had to work on. And, I've been trying to write lists down and tackle things slowly here and there, and it just seems, again, overwhelming is the best word to describe it. But the one thing that is kind of, keeping me constant and keeping me somewhat sane is me going out there and running. It's a good way for me to kind of just blow off steam, to try and just kind of clear my head. I know that's always not necessarily the case that needs to be done. Sometimes you need to tackle the things that need to be tackled. But, it's even been a struggle getting out there and running, especially these last few days with this injury. It's been real hard. And then even these last, before the injury, just this month in general, I just really fell off on miles because I think of all the overwhelming things that have kind of been weighing down on me. There's so many things I need to attend to and take care of. And as much as I love the running and I've been getting out there and trying to get it done, it just seems almost like, second in line to the things I need to try to take care of. And I've been staying good with it. I've been being consistent. I've 235 days into it. So you're crazy if you think I'm going to give up now because I'm overwhelmed. The thing is, I'm just trying to truly, truly keep my sanity, and it's hard. It's very hard, very stressful. So, again, the one thing, though, that helps me when I am overwhelmed, it is to actually get out there and to try to clear my head by getting out there and running. And earlier within the year and even last year, one thing that truly helped was, not necessarily a long run, but at least a 30-minute to 45-minute run to get out there and actually think, and get into the run, feel the run, get into the groove. Those truly help me out when I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I have not really been able to get one of those in. I did do, like I said, the 18 and a half miler the other day with my buddy, or 18 miler with my buddy, not 18 and a half. I think it was actually 17.8 miles. I did that with my buddy Nick. That was nice to get out there and get a decent run in. But before that, I've just been putting in, short runs, like mile and a half runs, and it's been hard on me, even getting those in. But I haven't really been able to find the groove enough out there to kind of clear my mind as much as I'd like to. So hopefully I can get this leg to recover quickly while continuously running on it. That's going to be a task within itself. That's also something that's very it's carrying a lot of weight on the overwhelming scale right now. Is on top of everything, me falling behind on everything else. Now I got an injury. Now I'm a month and a half out from a race, and my leg's flaring up. And like I said, I'm only in day 235. There's plenty of days left to, 130 days left. I gotta still do the streak. There's plenty of miles left I gotta attain that I've been going for. So right now, at this point in time, it just seems like a lot to be dealing with something, like this leg injury. In my head, I'm pretty sure it's more on the minor side than the major side, because I am still able to get out there and I've been able to go to work, walk around. I've been able to still get out there and run and at a pretty decent pace. Nothing crazy, nothing fast, but still a pretty fast pace to get out there and run on this leg the past 2 days. But I did notice when I woke up this morning to get out of bed, my right leg was really hurting. My left leg was even kind of hurting. So I'm hoping mostly it's still just kind of recovery from that big run that I did on Saturday. I'm hoping it's nothing too serious, but I do notice walking down the stairs, it really flares up a lot. Going upstairs isn't too bad, walking around isn't too bad, but it's going down and putting the weight on it and the leg lowering. It's really affecting me. So yet again, today's episode is just about sometimes life is going to be overwhelming, and there's truly sometimes it feels hopeless, because it seems like you start to tackle one thing, and as you it's kind of like a hydra. You cut one head off and three more appear where you cut that head off. So that's kind of how, when things get overwhelming, that's how it's a good analogy of that. But the thing to keep in mind, the thing I'm trying to keep in mind is it's temporary. Things are getting very overwhelming, and things are really starting to add up and get on my nerves, and I feel like I don't have enough time to do anything I really want to or need to do. But again, to remember, I will get caught up. Maybe it's not when I want to, and right now it's stressful, and right now it's hard. But this is something I can really I can learn from. It's a good lesson to touch back onto 2 days ago. It's a good lesson to kind of keep in mind. I can learn from this. I can understand that, one, I don't want to be in this situation again, so to not let things build up so bad, maybe next time, try to focus a little bit more on other things as well, so they don't get so overwhelming. But again, when you're in these overwhelming moments, I gotta try to really remember that this is something I can learn from, to try to be as positive as possible, because it's what I truly need to kind of get through this overwhelming moment. On top, like I said, there's just so many things here, there. There's so many different outside forces. I feel like I'm getting pulled, and I'm not even exaggerating, 20 different ways throughout a day of just trying to figure out what I need to get done. So for that reason, guys, I do kind of want to close today's episode out. I don't want to keep it too much longer, because it is getting later, and I still do have, yet again, a few things I need to try to get done before I go to bed tonight and get ready to go to work. So for that reason, guys, your daily discipline today, it is to do the same thing, to realize when things start to truly get overwhelming. Think about all those overwhelming times in your life. Maybe you're going through one right now. And if you're not, think back to times when you were going through an overwhelming time. And remember, as overwhelming as it was, you survived. You made it through. Yes, maybe everything didn't work out as planned, but everything worked out because you're here to talk about it. You're here to listen to this episode. So to try to remember that as things get overwhelming and things add up and things seem kind of hopeless, to remember just to try to keep your head on straight. Try not to take it out on the people around you, and try to truly just remember, take it as a learning lesson. Take it as, okay, this sucks. This is awful. I'm going to get through it. And not only am I going to get through it, but I'm going to learn something. So when this begins to try to come around next time, I will have a better tactic to actually attack it and defeat the overwhelming feeling or overwhelmingness of whatever it is that's actually happening throughout our lives. So that is your daily discipline today, is to really think back to an overwhelming time, or if you're going through an overwhelming time, just to truly remember that it's only going to be temporary, to try to be as positive as possible, because that is only going to help get over it and get through it. Other than that, guys, so thank you so much for following along and listening to the Defining Discipline podcast. This is episode 235, day 235. It's been a great journey, a fun journey, an overwhelming journey at times as of now. Is a perfect example, but we're still out there grinding, still out there putting in the work. So thank you guys so much for following along and listening. If you guys can, please give the podcast a like, a subscribe, a follow, and a share on our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, our YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platforms you've been listening along on. Other than that, the whole message of the podcast is to try to work on ourselves on an individual level. And in return, I think we will make the world a better place by working on those flaws that we have within ourselves. Because only we truly know what needs to be worked on. And sometimes we can get in our, toot our own horn a little bit too much. And sometimes we can maybe think, because I've been guilty of it plenty of times, thinking maybe, I don't have any flaws, or I don't have many flaws, or the flaws I have aren't things I truly need to work on. But I truly believe that if you do work on them and you try to become better and get rid of the things that, what's bad, if you try to really work on those, not only will you become a better person because of it, but I think it'll make the world a better place because of that as well. So let's get out there, lead by example, and make this world a better place, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 236. Hopefully it won't be as overwhelming, and hopefully I'll be in a lot better mood. But thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.